So here we are at the Crystal Gem homeworld.
Is that a reference to something, or just because of crystal shit that's come up?
Steven Universe. Good show. Very good show.
It is a good show. I also watch it.
What show?
Steven Universe.
They're getting so freaking deep this season.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. I just appreciate, like, I think they won an award for character design, and they deserve it because there's a lot of really crazy shit going on with, like, to the point that the gem that each one of the gems are also reflects their personality.
Yep.
Like weird OCD shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, 5 more points of agility. My trade armor gets better for some inexplicable reason.
Because it is largely physical construction and maintenance.
Which takes no consideration of the design phase whatsoever.
It does not.
Which is crazy, because that's the primary side I'd be on.
But, okay, so...
Oh, sorry.
Yes, last session you had emerged from a relatively short and fairly safe warp jump.
You're welcome.
Golf clap to the navigator.
Yeah, I forgot what happened. It was a bit weird.
Well, you were, by and large, you had a pleasant, I believe, 2.5-day journey at warp.
About that.
Except for all the warp mutants I knew were everywhere.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, bit paranoia.
Yes, Captain did get a bit of paranoia about people becoming warp mutated. I mean, and, you know, throughout the journey there were creepy whispers and strange creaks and things moving out of the corner of your eye and whatnot for that 2.5 days. But nothing bad actually happened, as far as you know, yet.
Really appreciate those qualifiers.
Yet.
The odds that a demon possessed someone on the ship and is secretly planning your downfalls are so low that it's barely even worth mentioning.
And yet here you are mentioning it.
Are demons insidious? Like, or I thought they were just like, blah.
They
You know,
vary.
like
Depends which...
I'm a demon.
got
I'm
that
gonna kill
from.
you. You know, I'm not sneaky because I'm a demon. I thought they were more like orcs.
They run
Not
the
all want
range.
to kill you.
They run the range from basically just animals to, you know, insidious corruptors.
I assume they have a very wide and vast ecology, much like life in the not warp.
Are there
Yes.
good demons?
Probably not. Depends on what you believe on theories related to the Legion of the Dead.
What's a Legion of the Dead?
Mysterious flaming space marines that appear out of nowhere, slaughter everything in sight, and then leave.
But for good reasons.
Yeah, who might be the good equivalent of demons. Maybe.
That would make sense. But it's what Hannah say.
Yeah,
Well, does make sense.
that's not a question that'll ever get answered, though.
No.
And maybe Malal, depending on your point of view.
What's that?
He's technically the 5th Chaos God.
Who?
The Chaos God of Anarchy, including fighting other Chaos Gods, because fuck them.
I've not heard of him.
Yeah, that's because Games Workshop no longer owns the legal rights to him, so there's been no new material written about him.
Wait, how do they lose the legal rights to him?
All of the writers who wrote him left, and there was some dispute of who actually owned the rights to him.
That is bizarre.
It happened with comics back in the day, too.
Suppose it can happen.
But, so, you emerged in the true Martellus system, as we have now established, which has been lost for 10,000 years since it and the associated colony worlds disappeared from Imperial space. Somehow making their way out here to the Coronis Expanse. As soon as you arrived in the system, you were bathed in the completely unnatural, swirling violet light of the star Cygnus. At least that's what your astrogation charts call it.
Don't recall them mentioning it being evil, though.
Well, it is kind of hard to discern evil from such a great distance. So,
I don't know if it's evil, but it's definitely weird, was my understanding.
yeah, it was definitely menacing enough that murmurs and paranoia started to go through the crew. However, your man-at-arms was able to successfully restore order, I believe, through heavy-handed drill sergeant shit.
Through being mean, you meanie.
Intimidate. Generally, anytime you're trying to prevent morale loss, you can use most social skills to do it. Including dealing with mutinies.
Can we not just kill one of them and then be like, yeah, don't. The rest of you, that's what happens.
Technically, that's the intimidation option, and you lose 1 point of crew population. But,
How many people did you kill?
well, it's percentage based out of 100, so several thousand.
Jesus Christ. I guess that would be a good example.
Wow.
Basically, that's you executing the generals and officers in charge of what amounts to an enemy military. But your Auspex scanners sweep across the system as you enter. The Master of Etherics gives you the initial report of what you are able to discern in the system, as this very, very crude chart demonstrates. Due to the nature of warp travel, you are generally not able to emerge too close to the center of gravity for the system, so you have emerged at the edge. And must continue at sublight speed.
Okay, so what sort of scanners do we have to ensure that we are not rolling right up into a kill zone?
Well, that would be there is a test for this. Active augury, basically doing a scan for any ships that may be stealthing it out in the area.
Well, I think ships are probably pretty unlikely. I'm thinking like planet-based defenses or things in the asteroid belt.
Well, things in the asteroid belt will be distinctly more difficult to detect. The asteroid belt can help to conceal them. As for planetary defenses, you would have to get a bit closer to planets to do an in-depth enough scan to tell.
Would we have to be close enough for the planets to take an in-depth firing opportunity?
It would depend entirely on what they were armed with.
Fun.
There are some weapons they could be armed with that could be shooting at you right now. Some weapons where you'd have to be directly in orbit.
Never a dull moment in warp travel. Okay, unless anyone has any clever objections, I'd like to move us in towards our target planet by moving outside of the plane of the ecliptic to begin with, and then cutting back in by the planet so we don't come close to any of the other orbiting stuff.
Which planet is your target planet?
You told us last week, and I can't remember. There was a planet that we came here for, and one that was probably that planet, but I don't remember which one it was. The orange one or the blue one?
I'm going to continue a small bit of ambiguity on that point.
Well, if it's ambiguous like that, then I suppose we just head in for whichever's closest and start scanning that one. Unless, again, anyone has any clever objections.
This is all new to us.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of augury array is on the gun cutter or any ships that we have available. Because if you're worried about fire, they can actually probably get closer to the planet. But I think there's a ship specifically for that kind of thing, so we don't have it, so I don't think it's an option.
Yeah, you certainly don't have anything besides the big ship that could essentially.
You don't have any roads?
Not really.
There's the Chiptorian Scout, which is like a completely unarmed fast ship that specifically is made to have augury arrays on it. Everything else doesn't seem to have anything.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to be starting work on a very dangerous array when we're done here.
Well, you guys did get a pretty damn good augury array to begin with.
Yeah, but we still have to risk our skin to use it, so...
Well, generally, one's auger range is still going to be longer than most weapon ranges.
Generally.
And the weapons,
Alright, so...
and the weapons, while they are powered by sci-fi tech, are still, moving across light years potentially.
You can still dodge weapon fire. Come on.
Right, so up and out of the plane of the ecliptic and in towards the inner system, taking readings as we go. And keeping an eye on that damn purple star. I don't trust
Sounds
it.
good to me.
Yes, the men continue to be off-put by the star as you draw closer to the center of the system. Good old-fashioned military discipline keeping them in check for the time being.
I'm naming it the Rose Quartz Star.
And wait,
Probably more like Jasper.
But it's pink.
your navigator actually has a power relevant to this. I almost forgot.
Oh?
Didn't you have that, stare into the void power, what have you?
Oh, well, shoot, what was that?
Where basically you are an auger array.
Let me look at my thing. I had... Come on. I had Void Watcher. Which...
Yes, that is the one.
Oh, cool. So...
What skill, sorry?
Hmm?
What skill are we asking do you have to make a skill check?
Oh, this is just for
Navigator?
Zennith there.
Okay.
Yes, she happens to have a power that lets her do perception checks on space scale.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, just perception test?
Yes, you can toss out a perception to try and detect things out there as the ship goes, as can the auger array.
Okay. Damn it. Nope.
Okay, and just starting at the outermost, or are you skipping anything in particular?